Sometimes storms get the better of us. As with all things, there comes a time where we might even experience storms, intense sorrow, or even depression. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. James chapter 1, verse 2 to 3. Sometimes regarding life, we feel rather blue, and that life isn't worth living. But with all things regarding the Lord, He will bring you to a place where your sorrow will evaporate like dust. Momentarily, you feel the pain of whatever ails you has taken over your soul. But God has imbued you with the spirit that no one else can take away. The spirit that gives you peace. And in this spirit, He has given you joy that cannot be taken away. Joy is a magical feeling, a feeling unlike any other. It is different from the joy of temporal things, being eating, drunkenness, or gathering with others, be it friends or family. It's a joy you feel when life gets the better of you. Joy that comes only after you've been tested and tried time and time again. It's a joy that comes to soothe the aches and the pain that life will bring. You may feel pain at the moment. You may feel the storms raging around you. But in all things, the rain ends at some point. And thus, the clouds reappear and the sky becomes new. From sorrow, you will bloom joy. For example, the people that followed God all the way to His end were distraught. They felt immense pain over the loss of their Redeemer and His brutalization and further crucifixion. All because He preached a word that, while held in eternal truth, was hated by those on earth. The angel of the Lord, sitting on His tomb, told them in vain that the Lord is not here, but has fulfilled His duty and has risen to His rightful place. His Spirit grants them untold powers and understanding. This Spirit, in which joy comes, carries them through life. And in us, when we're baptized by immersion, it'll do the same. The Lord furthered Himself in His resurrected state. He told His disciples that though His time has come to an end, this Spirit, that was the physical manifestation of Christ, lives on through His disciples and all of those who followed Him. And that we on earth currently can inherit that spirit of peace, love, harmony, and mostly joy. That though He's not there physically, therefore you now have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart will rejoice, and your joy no one will take from you. John chapter 16, verse 22. In all things, the Lord wants you to understand that though He is not there physically, His Spirit and the joy that comes from that Spirit still is within you. This is a joy unlike any other. It isn't a joy that can be taken away after a really bad spell. It's not a joy that can cease after the truly worst things happens to you. It's not a joy that though you are on your knees, beaten and bruised, that it suddenly ceases from you because you're on the floor. Though you miss Him at the moment, He's never truly gone. Though you grieve the Spirit and you cry over the tomb of the Lord, His Spirit and the joy that elixir from it is not gone. When you will see Him again, your heart will gleefully and rightfully rejoice. Like when giving birth, a woman may go through intense and seemingly unending pain. But when it passes, she cries and rejoices at the new life that's in her hands, of God's bountiful creation, and further, the work of her and her spouse, thus endowed and blessed by God. In everything, count it all joy, because in all things, joy is what drives us. The ability to feel happiness, as given to you by the Lord, is what drives your spirituality, is what drives your ability to do things in His name. It's what gives you that calmness and the will to go on through life, that joy. And though the Lord is risen, and He's not physically in your presence, His presence, even after His resurrection, is still being felt. A woman, when she is in labor, has sorrow because her A woman, when she is in labor, has sorrow because her hour has come. But as soon as she has given birth to the child, she no longer remembers the anguish for joy that a human being has been born into the world. John chapter 16, verse 21. That's the miracle of birth. It's a beautiful thing, that though the process of 9 months is painful, a woman experiences many things and goes through various moods, many of them negative and very detrimental. After the grueling 1, 2, possibly 3-day process of expelling the child from your body, you and the father have extreme joy over the fact that your bountiful creation has been blessed by God, that you have given birth to another human. You have recreated life that is now solely yours and God's alone. That in this dual effort, you have given birth. And the same thing carries over to your faith. That in everything, joy must be present. God gives us a spirit of joy because He understands that we will go through many trials on this earth. The earth is wicked. The earth is cruel. And in many ways, the earth is unforgiving. But you are not of this world. You're not of that darkness. You're of the kingdom above in heaven. You're of the light. And because you retain citizenship in heaven, you are endowed the right to joy and the freedom that comes with that joy. This joy will never be taken from you. Its rightful place within your heart will carry you to better days, and truly will bring you closer to the Lord, so that in your darkest hour, you'll look past it with joy and abundance. With everything on earth, you're bound to face pain. That's an unavoidable fact of life. No one can truly avoid pain on earth, because the earth is inherently painful. But you, as a child of God, you have something different attached to you. You can get through the pain that the earth will throw at you, because you have God and His Spirit that brings you joy on your side. You've got to understand this very simple concept that in everything, that the one thing that separates you from the darkness and the unbelievers of this world is that the Spirit of the Lord has come down to you, chosen you, and has imbued you with the Spirit that brings joy. All things relating to Christ are good. All things relating to Christ are blameless and made sinless. You ask the Lord for forgiveness and pray 1,000 times over, but you'll still go through the trials in life. But one way you can face them is the fact that you have the Spirit, which brings joy and will forever bring joy, a joy that is unlike any other. Sorrow and the devil has got nothing on you.